my clients actually recognize me more as the agent that they want to use and keep using.
How do you set boundaries, and how have you protected your time to be present outside of just working all the time?
Some conversations just feel like a breath of fresh air, and this one is exactly that. Katie Day sits down with Felicia Lewis and Jamie Harris to talk about balance, boundaries, and the real stories behind running a successful business while staying present in life. From morning routines to mindset resets, this episode is equal parts inspiration and practical wisdom. Let's get into it.
All right, y'all, what's up? I'm Katie Day, Felicia Lewis, Jamie Harris. What's going on? We're in San Diego. I'm excited. Just finished up Further Together, and y'all both crushed it on stage. Seeing the Further Together events were all about like community and pouring into the industry as a whole. Like, how has being collaborative been something that's furthered your career so far?
At Real, because we're all about community and coming together, I have learned so many things regarding like social media that I've implemented that has helped my clients actually recognize me more as the agent that they want to use and keep using. And also with the charity portion of Real, being able to collaborate with different agents and giving back, which is a really big part of my entire business, has really helped to elevate my business in terms of the service aspect of it.
Yeah, and if you guys don't follow Jamie on social, she has some really cool videos. So y'all should follow her. Felicia, what do you and I know each other from coaching and from community, real estate communities and things like that. So like, how has that been an impact in your career so far?
Yeah, I love the sense of community. I love working with other people. I love the collaboration. I feel like my business gets richer through hearing how other people are approaching their businesses. So I think the opportunities with Real, it's so well set up for everybody to connect and collaborate and try to work together. And events like this, thank you for sponsoring the Further Together, because events like this are amazing for us all to be kind of in the same room and catch up about our businesses and not just, sending each other a message. Just actually like really, it almost felt like a big mastermind where we're like working and coming up with ideas that we could do to make our businesses better. So the Real has been, it's an extended family. It's community, extended family. It's all those good things.
All right. So, as y'all know, like I've recently had 2 kids. And so like, this has been probably like the hardest 3 years of my life.
Yes.
Just balancing all of the things. And so, when we were talking about like podcast topics and things like that, it's like, I would love to kind of hear from y'all on like how you've balanced life, and like you give back so much, you both do, right? And like just so many changing priorities and so many different things. Like, how do you kind of structure life, right? Like we were talking about this, like being in different seasons of life,
right?
But like obviously you're visiting your kids and doing things like that. Like, how has that been something for you as with kids that are a little bit more grown than mine are?
So my kids are 27, 25, and 20.
Yeah.
So like I always say to you, I'm on the other end. You're really in the thick of it.
Yeah.
But I think what I want to share is that you have to put your family first. Somebody said to me a long time ago, you're never going to look back and say, oh, I wish I would have sold one more house, or I wish I would have made one more call, or I wish I would have done, one more video. You're not. But what you're going to say is, I wish I would have spent a little bit more time going to my kids' soccer games, or a little bit more time helping my child learn to read, or a little bit more time talking through things with them when they had, just giving them a little bit more attention. So I think if you always remember the business is going to be there, you have a right to set your boundaries, and your family comes first, you're doing this for your family, right? You're not doing this for yourself. I mean, we get self-actualized through it, but you're really doing this to enrich the life of your family and however you see that working out for you. But you just have to remember family first. It's really, I think it's huge if you take and put your phone away when you're with your family, especially now that my kids are adults. Like to take and put my phone away, they see that, they recognize that, they understand because they've grown up with me always having my phone in front of me, right? They know that they have my attention. And I think you just have to remember the clients are going to understand you have a family. The clients are going to understand that emergencies happen. You're still going to be there for them because that's the kind of person you are, but really have to just start there with my family comes first.
Yeah. We realized the other day, like Riley will often ask us to look at pictures on our phone. And Ryan and I were like, does she like looking at pictures, or is she just like trying to get us like off of our phone and like doing stuff with her? And so lately we've just been like, oh, sorry, my phone's dead. And like, we leave it down. And like, she stopped asking for pictures. So like, oh shit. You guys edit this, right? Oh shoot. She probably like thinks that, she was trying to look at the phone and get our attention. So that was like a really stark realization. Jamie, so you are an individual agent, right?
Yes.
And Crush, you're an elite agent at Real. You sell a ton of real estate, and you find time to post by 5 a.m. every morning on social. Is that every day?
Every single day.
Yeah.
For the last 15 or so years.
Holy moly. So if you don't follow Jamie on Facebook, she posts funny things, motivational things, but every single morning at 5 a.m., I see a post from you, right? Like almost every single day. And since I like watch her posts and see them, obviously I get them served up almost every day. And so how have you, throughout your career, you said 15 years, like set boundaries? You know, Felicia mentioned some things that she's done. Like, how do you set boundaries, and how have you protected your time to be present outside of just working all the time?
So, and that ties into my 5 a.m. post too. To get back my time,
Yeah.
I do wake up earlier so I can go to the gym. I can spend time with my son. I can spend time with my dogs. And then when it's work hours, I try to work between 8 and probably 6 a.m. And then it's my son's time again, and my time and my dogs. And the good thing is when you have clients who you pour so much into, it's easy to set boundaries. When you say, hey, I'm going to actually spend the rest of the night with my son, or I'm going to go somewhere else, they're like, oh yeah, no big deal. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, and so both of you said that. And I think I've always been a person that's been like a little apprehensive to say that. And I've started to do that, right? Of like, oh, hey, sorry, like I can work on this tomorrow, or I will send this to you in the afternoon, or I give them specific times in which I'll do things, as opposed to being like, oh, let me drop what I'm doing, and go do this now. Was that something for you that was like a process to get to, right? Like, or did you just rip the Band-Aid and like you've always had good boundaries?
It was a process, and honestly, not because I'm at Real and we have the mug and everything else, but just even being amongst the other Real agents who are willing to be so transparent and share everything.
Yeah.
They actually helped me understand that you can actually say this. Your clients are actually going to be okay. Like, I took 3 months off this year, but like I went to the Philippines for like 3.5 weeks, and I said to my clients, I'm like, hey, I'm going to the Philippines. They're like, oh yeah, we'll just sell our house when you get back. Oh, was that easy? They're like, yes, if you actually pour into your clients as much as you do, if you just tell them, they're not going to say, oh, I'll just use someone else.
Yeah.
And I said it to like 3 clients, and they're like, okay, so we'll just do it when you get back. Have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a huge successful moment for you, that your clients look at you as the professional. You are their real estate advisor professional, and they respect that you are going to be there and give them 100%. They know your business. They know the kind of attention you're going to give to their listing, and they're willing to wait for the best. They know that about you. So like Katie said, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes a lot of time. So if newer agents are listening, I would say, these are maybe places for you to get to, but you have a right to set those boundaries with your clients.
Well,
Right.
and I think it's a lot easier to say now, right? Like when, I've been in the business for over 10 years, right? Like I know y'all have been in the business for a while as well, right? More than me. And so you can say that like when you're like not, don't have the $0 in your bank account, right? Like we've built up careers over time. So Felicia, like I know, with kids overseas and things like that, like you travel oftentimes to like do some fun travel, then family travel, and like do a lot where you're on the road. So like tactically, what are some things that you do so that your team and business stays running?
So this is a perfect time for you to ask me that question, because I'm about to leave for almost 3 weeks next week. And I've really put myself and my business in the right situation. So any listings that I was taking on, I let my clients know. I used to do this in advance, kind of let them know last minute because I didn't want to lose the opportunity. Now I've let them know in advance. This is what my schedule looks like. Does that work? Will that help match your goals? This is when we'll be able to go on the market. This is when we'll be able to. So I set it up as a professional, right? I'm getting them, they're buying into my process. But I think tactically what you're saying is I have made sure that everything on my end that I can do in advance, and I have sold that into my clients. I sell that into my clients by getting ahead of it and saying, these are all the things that are scheduled. This is when they're scheduled. This is how they're happening. This is your backup on it. This is if this doesn't happen. This is when I'll be back. This is what's going to happen when you're back. And if you just take a little bit of time, thank God for ChatGPT helping us structure that, right?
Which is like, here are all of my
Right.
ideas.
Yeah.
Can you make this into a
Yes.
cohesive email that
Yes.
actually
Yes.
makes sense, please?
But if you do that and you get ahead of it, then the client's like, okay, we're good. Have a good time. And I said to my client the other night on the phone, I said, no, listen, I have traveled and I've been doing this business a long time, so I know what it's like. And you can still reach me, but it's a 9-hour time change. And they're like, no, you deserve the time. You've earned it. And I thought that was such a defining moment for me, for a client to say, you've earned it, right? That was a level of respect for my business and what I do. So I understand where you're at with little ones and, just trying to be everything for everyone as a team leader as well. But I think if you just get ahead of it with your clients and you say,
Right.
this is what's happening,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I've had all kinds of drama, health things, travel, kids events that are at the wrong time, all kinds of things happen, right? I always say real estate happens at the most inopportune time.
Of course. Yeah.
Always.
So you want a
Yeah.
deal, book a trip, right? And then you're going to get it, right? So I think it's just setting the expectations and having a really good support behind you that your clients know that.
This is the plan. This
Yes,
is what you're doing.
Right.
I mean, and I think that's the biggest thing, right? Is having the very clear communication on like what's happening and when it's going to happen. And so even if it's like not traveling and it's just normal escrow and normal transaction time,
Right.
like, hey, this is where we are, this is what's happening, and this is the timeline for what comes next. People then don't have questions and, they feel comfortable with you working with them, especially if you're traveling or you're gone or you're, not there right then. So Jamie, you mentioned earlier that one of the big things for you is like that you're up early, you post, you do the thing, you're committed to that. What are other things or habits that what are other habits or things like that you've built into your schedule? Or your life of like routines or, like I know I'm a morning person. And so like, this is what I do in the morning. And that's changed significantly over the past 3 years. But like, what are other habits or routines that you have to keep yourself accountable to yourself?
So after 5 o'clock, I do the post. I tend to put my phone down within 30 minutes of that so I can actually just walk with my dog. As in, I just want to be present.
Yeah.
All I want to do is just know that I'm walking, thinking about no one, nothing else, but just actually the journey of walking. Then I'll come back and I'll do my journal. So I'm very, very big on my gratitudes. No matter what is happening in life, 10 things that I'm grateful for, 3 wins, big or small, right?
Do you write them physically with pen and paper?
With pen and paper.
I love that.
So I have probably like at least 15 big stack of
Journals, yeah.
from over the years. And sometimes when, sometimes even transactions or things in the day becomes really difficult, I'll open it up and I'll just go through years. And I was like, it's okay. It grounds you real quickly.
And do you ever pick up like one from a year ago or 2 years ago and like, man, like, you know how like today you're like, God, I'm not doing enough or I'm not this or I'm not that, or you have that like kind of self-talk. And then like you look back to a year ago or 5 years and you're like, oh man, I've come so far. Right. And so I think the self-talk and I think, a lot of us, with production and business and being comfortable going out of town and being comfortable going, to different places, like that comes with time. And so it's really cool sometimes to take that introspective look. Cause like, I know I don't always celebrate the wins. And so looking back is a great way to realize how far you've come.
I mean, wins, like for you, it could be that you were successfully able to leave the kids and come and do this tour that you just did. And you know that they're in good hands and they're going to be okay. And I mean, that's a huge win for a mother with very young children to be able to do that. So the wins are very personal. And that's what I think Jamie's getting at is she writes them down and they're personal to her. But your brain believes what you tell it. So the writing, the physical writing of it is your brain believing that.
Yes.
Right?
No, and I think that like the 10 gratitudes, I love that you said that because often people are like, I write down 3 things. And like, it's very easy to think of 3 things that you're grateful for. But if you do 5 or 10, like you definitely have to think a little bit harder, especially because, if we're beating ourselves up about the day or we're pissed because a deal fell through, it's like, we're still so super grateful to, be here today, be above ground, have a roof over our heads. And so even when things are tough, like you were saying earlier, right? Like we all have stuff that we go through, like 10 gratitudes. Like if you guys don't do gratitudes, write down 10 gratitudes. It's going to change your life. So I absolutely love that. All right. Habits, things, structure that you've built in to be able to, do all of the things that you do.
So I try to not plan my day the day of. I try to do it the night before. So sometimes you'll see there's a whole bunch of little things in my calendar that I don't want to forget, like do this, ask this, send
Tasks,
this,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Or if I need to write it down, whatever it is. But I try to do it the day before. I also find it helps you sleep better.
Oh yeah, get it out of your
Because
brain.
you've been able to release that, right? And you know it's going to get accomplished and you've cleared that out. I also find that you wake up the next day knowing what the expectation
Ready
is.
to go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you
Same
think of
attitude.
little kids, if they know what to expect, they do a lot better. Same with us as adults. I know what my day is going to look like. Things are going to go wrong. Things are going to happen. That's okay. We're adults. We can handle it. But if I get it out the night before, kind of have a rough plan, then the next day I know what to expect, it goes much smoother.
So what advice do you have? I want it personally, just because like obviously I'm in a different season of life, but like for people that are earlier in their career or have young children, right? Like you guys have been through more of that than I have, and a lot of people that are probably listening or watching to this podcast. What advice would you give as far as like having work-life balance? Obviously we've dropped a lot of gems already. You guys have said a lot of stuff that like you do and how you structure your day and structure your life and that you've gotten to this point. But like there was a point where you weren't at this point. So like what advice would you give to that person?
We all know real estate takes up a lot of our time, and sometimes you miss very important things with your kids that you wish. Like I know I do. Like my son is now 18; he's about to go off to university, and I look back and I'm thinking, was that extra deal worth it? Was that extra client worth it? I can't take it back. But what I do now, because I still obviously work and I still have lots of clients, when I'm with whomever, whether it be my son or whom, I'm completely present. So like I think Sharon even said, wherever your feet are, be there.
Yeah, you were. Yeah.
So it will actually regain a lot more, because you don't have to spend 24 hours with anyone, your kid or anyone. But even if it's just 3 hours, 2 hours, be completely there. It matters more than the 24 hours of being all over the place.
Yeah, I love that.
I agree with that.
All right, if you're giving yourself 25 years ago advice, what would it be?
Are you saying how old I am?
No, I'm just saying if you just
You're like
rewinded.
40.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, but like 25 years ago, like what advice would you give Felicia then?
I'll say for younger agents or newer agents, that real estate is the long game. I think Jamie, you and I were talking about this earlier today. Real estate is the long game. So you have to give yourself permission to take the small wins and appreciate the small wins. And whatever that is, it can be personal, whether it's showing up in the office and making your 10 calls in the morning, or it's reaching out to past clients, whatever it is, whatever your win is, it isn't every day going to be something that leads to a transaction or to compensation for your work. But if you realize that everything you do is part of your process, you will get there. And sometimes a lot of it is just mentality, just feeling good about yourself, knowing that you took the steps, and it could take 6 months till that comes to fruition, but understanding that you're in this for the long game.
Yeah, I think you guys have all probably seen I don't want to say it's a meme, but like the cartoon of the two people. You might have actually posted this on a 5 a.m., but like the two people that are hitting the wall, and they're like tunneling or whatever, with the pick, with the axe.
Right.
I'm doing the thing with
Put
my
a
hand, the
diamond or
axe,
whatever.
right? And it's like the diamond's on the other side, and like one person stops, but they're like, this far, and then the other person's still going, and it's like, I think that we all, just as humans, especially now with, TikTok and these things that like give you these dopamine hits, like we want the instant gratification, but real estate very, very infrequently has that. And so, I think that's perfect advice, because you really do need to really just do the same things over and over and over again, and it will pay off. It just so many people stop before that tipping point. And so I always love seeing that with agents, right? It's like when you see like the hard work that they've put in over the past 3 months, 6 months.
So satisfying.
But yeah, I love it.
It's the best when you can see that they have just consistently done the activities that will get them to where they want to go, and then they get to enjoy that. It's a really great feeling to see agents get to that, because we've all worked through that so much ourselves and our businesses, but to see them get there, and it's just, you're doing the steps. I said to my middle son, I said, don't worry, a no just gets you closer to a yes. And so if you just are thankful for those no's that you get during the day, because then you know the yes is coming, because you're being consistent and you're doing the work you need to do. So just stick with it and know that this is the long game.
Yeah.
And you have to do the activities. There's no way around it, for any of us at least, right?
Yeah. All right. If someone wants to connect with you and continue the conversation, Jamie, where's the best place for them to find you?
You can find me on, I guess, Instagram, The Real Jamie Z.
The real Jamie Z. Felicia?
And I'm at Felicia Lewis Group.
Awesome. Well, thank you both so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you,
for having
Katie.
us.
Thanks for having us.
3 powerhouse women, 1 unfiltered conversation. Katie, Felicia, and Jamie reminded us that real success is built on discipline, gratitude, and giving yourself grace along the way. Whether you're growing your business or just trying to find more time for what matters, their advice is pure gold. Thanks for tuning in to Perspectives Unlocked, where the industry's best come to share what's real.